So Nicole is awesome. Her and I met in the Central page, I believe. We just kind of all connect. I feel like I talk to a ton of coaches, but it's nice to have other perspective, fresh views on things. So Nicole's going to chat with us tonight, just about a little about her story, how she works her business, and some tips for us. I'm really excited because, it's kind of nice to get a viewpoint from somebody else. I'm always preaching Success Club, but I think they're sick of hearing me talk about it. So again, she's 1-star. Is that right? Yeah, 1-star diamond, Success Club 5 All-Star. So for those of you that are newer to the team, that just means that she has made Success Club a priority in her business for a year. Success Club 5 means she has helped 3 people for over a year get into a challenge group, get results, support them, help them, coach them, and then founder of, is it Inspire Your Life? Is that your team page or team name? Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Yep, that's my team name.
So Nicole and I just met in the Central region. We all try to connect as coaches. We all have similar goals, and I have a goal of a lead. I think Nicole does too. We're trying to get to LA for a new leadership. And so it's nice to see fresh faces on the team, and she's just going to talk to us tonight. So without further ado, go for it. I'm going to mute myself just because in case.
Yay. Yeah, no, it's all good. Thank you so much for having me. It's refreshing to talk to new people because I know my people are so tired of me talking to them because I talk to them exactly about what I'm going to share with you guys is storytelling and movements and how to talk to people. That's like my gift to gab, whatever. So I'm just going to do a screen share. So give me 1 second.
I already love it. Gift to gab.
Okay. Can you guys see it? Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Okay, so my name is Nicole. I am a coach. I have signed up to be a coach July 28th, 2014. I didn't start on any coaching journey at all until January of 2015. I was basically just a challenger for a couple months. I'll get into my story of that in a little bit. I'm an aunt. I'm an aunt times 6. I'm a sister. I'm one of 6. I'm number 3, and I'm a friend. And I'm a daughter. That's another part of my story that I'll explain later. You guys should all have your roles as a coach. And I hope you have pen and paper. I'm going to be going through quite a bit. My story from Iowa to Texas, Steve Jobs, connect the dots. If you've never listened to Steve Jobs' commencement speech, write that down, YouTube it, save it, listen to it, repeat, because connect the dots, Steve Jobs is like coaching life. In my world, I am single. I don't have any kids, so I'm a coach first because I want to be elite. I want to be top 10. I want to have this. I want to have financial freedom. Those are my goals. But it's okay for whatever that your roles are. It's okay if you put mommy first or wife first or, whatever. But know your roles. I put coach first because that's my goals in my life, and I feel like God has me here for a reason. But you're not a coach. You're a human being. That'll tie in later. Steve Jobs, connect the dots. But my story from Iowa to Texas is where I want to start. A little bit about me. I have a little like a enough was enough moment, and we all have those, right? My enough was enough moment was such a pivotal storytelling moment for my coaching or for my life, I'll say. It was kind of how I got started into getting a Beachbody program. I was in domestic violent relationships. I was in 2 of them, not 1, but 2, with 2 separate men. And it was embarrassing. I was ashamed. If you know me, if you see me on social media, for my friends that find out now and they're like, what? That's my story. It was the hardest part to tell, but it was unbelievably relieving when I told it. And I tell my enough was enough moment. And I know you guys have enough was enough moment. I want you to write it down. If you're embarrassed about it, ashamed about it, it's okay, but write it down. You guys know it. So that moment was a pivotal moment that got me to move from Iowa to Texas, because my sister-in-law, actually, she was in a car accident. Really bad. It's not my story to tell, and I don't want to put it out to the masses, but she was hurt really, really bad. And so they asked me to be a permanent fixture down here. Again, I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Am I not? Ashley, can you do me a favor? Can you put yourself on mute? I get distracted really. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Thank you. They asked me to be a permanent fixture down here, and I'm not married. I don't have any kids, so it was really easy for me to pick up and move. And that enough was enough moment of that. And I don't know if any of you have ever had that. If you've been in domestic violence, it sucks. It's not a fun thing to go through. So it was really easy for me to be like, okay, sure, let's go. And I was the girl that hid in the shadows, that was shy, that didn't know how to talk to people, that was afraid to do anything with her life. So I up and moved to Texas. I sold everything that I owned. And I'm a grown woman. I have things. I have a house. I have stuff. And I literally sold everything, like down to my hangers. I moved to Texas. I had to do bankruptcy from like early 2000s, I'm aging myself, of just college debt and just credit cards, a lot of ownership. I ate a lot of humble pie. My brother is really successful down here, and that's who I lived with. I mean, I lived with them to help them out. My sister-in-law was in her accident, but they live in a really well-off neighborhood, so I was surrounded by a crazy amount of successful people, like millionaires. And I'm just like over here twiddling my thumbs, like I have a car. That's all that I have. And I have clothes. So it was really humbling. But you are who you surround yourself with. And I was willing to eat that humble pie to better my life. And that's when I met a random woman on Facebook. I was searching on Facebook for a running group. I needed something. My brother and sister-in-law, they're not into working out. And that was kind of like my thing. I always did Beachbody, but I never did the calendar. I had burnt copies of P90X. I wanted to finish that because it was really cool for me. I found a random woman on Facebook who's now my coach. But before that, before I started talking to her and before I started answering her back because she started messaging me, I deleted Facebook twice because I was so depressed and so like, oh my gosh. And I almost got in my car 2 different times and moved back to Iowa because I just didn't know what to do. But I said, when my enough moment happened, I said, I will never turn back and I will never give up and I will never go back to where I was and what I was. And I know Bree's story a little bit. And I know that she's gone through a lot of hard times. And there's just that moment where you just like, nope, not going to quit, not going to do it. So I created a whole new life and I literally just dug in and just said yes to everything. So I got a new apartment. I got a brand new life. I got forgiveness. Never believed in forgiveness, but Beachbody and finishing a program taught me that. The yes that changed my life was the yes to PIO and challenge pack and sign up for a coaching discount. And why I will always remember why I signed up to be a coach. I want you guys to write this question down. Why did you sign up to be a coach? Write that down and have that literally on your desk every day because you never want to forget that one moment. You guys didn't sign up to be a coach to get success points. You didn't sign up to be a coach to get elite. I mean, yes, it's a great opportunity. That's when like your business entrepreneur side comes out in you. You signed up to be a coach to help yourself. So never forget that. And my coach asked me one question that I will never forget. And she asked me, how are you today? She didn't ask me, what do you want to buy? She didn't ask me, when can you sign up? She got on the phone with me and she said, how are you today? I'll never forget that. So there's 3 things that I got from my coach. It was love, empowerment, and belief. My coach, Rhonda, she is married. She has kids, but that's not what I was attracted to on social media. I was attracted to the love that she had, the empowerment that she had for herself and her life and what she wanted, and the belief that she had in herself. Not in the belief that she had in other people, not the motivation, because her thing is motivation, Rhonda. Like that didn't matter to me. It was love and power and belief. And I'm words of affirmation. So words are my thing. And so that's what stuck out for me. So my mastery, what I'm good at, the power of movements. So when I was first started out as a coach, I was in a challenge group and I went all in. I did 60 days of PIO. I got stupid results because I went all in, 60 days, 100%. I was the best challenger. I was like a coach's dream. I showed up every day. I did every assignment. I was thrown into not coach basics. Maybe it was, I don't even know. Like to this day, maybe it was a coach basics. I was thrown into a sneak peek. I don't know what it was. I was like, yeah, I'll be in something because I wanted to be a part of something. And remember that. People that you talk to want to be a part of something. Don't be worried about overwhelming them because it's their choice to be in the group. If they miss it, they miss it. I always say, if this lands for you, let it land. If it doesn't, keep it moving, kind of thing. If you have the mentality of if you're throwing too much at them, it's going to be too much for them. You never know where someone's at and their soul. You never know. So just do what feeds your soul and what is going to be to other people. And so what I learned in that little challenge group in that 60 days, I created for myself the power of movements. Because when I got done with 60 days, I was like, I need something to continue. And my coach didn't reach out to me. There was no Google form that I send out to my people checking in every 3 months. There was no, hey, how are you? Like after the fact. My coach is not a helicopter coach or a helicopter friend. She's always there, but she was never the one that was like throwing things at me at all. I mean, granted, some people need that. But that's a role for you as a coach to really hone in on yourself. You have to say, I'm not going to be a helicopter coach. I'm going to be this, and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to create this movement. And if people follow me, people follow me. If they don't, that's okay too, because it's their race, it's their pace. So I created Life in the Fit Lane and I created Earned It. And these are challenge groups. Challenge groups is what serves me. I'm really good at them. I run a brand new one every single month. It starts the second week of every month. My coaches know that. It's called Earned It. Because I want them, it's not like I want them to earn it, but you're earning, I don't know how I came up with Earned It, to be honest. Kind of like flattered by the seat of my pants. But it's just, you earn, hashtag, when you post a workout, you hashtag Earned It. So they go into that group and I'm up to like, I don't know, 13.0, 14.0, I don't know. So they go into that, then when they're done with the 30 days, they transfer into Life in the Fit Lane and they keep going. I run sneak peeks in there. I run sneak peeks, not coach basics, but I advertise that in there. I had a desperate obsessive focus in there. And so I'm a little hashtag whore. These are just some of the movements that I created, all in B's. Like when things get silent, I'm like, okay, who needs to go over the food book again? Who wants to go all in? Who needs a kick in the booty? And you'll be able to tell like who needs it, who doesn't. It's okay for you to be riding along with them. You don't always have to be like this rah-rah cheerleader, like, because you're on your own journey too, and you show up in your own wellness group too. So you just create these movements. Counter checkers for Shakeology, self-love. I'm a master finisher. I want my girls to have that too. Pass it up, hashtag pass it up. When someone, passes up on a snack, all the donuts and everything, people know the more you know, the more you grow. Your race, your pace. Repetition is the mother of learning, because why not? Throw the scale away. Never apologize. I have 2 rules in my coaching group and in my wellness studio. You never apologize, ever, 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 ever. And you be willing. You're not going to be kicked out if you don't participate, but you be willing. And it's like the Gary Vaynerchuk, what is the word that he uses? I can't think of it. Reverse engineer. Ask the question, do you say to yourself, I'm not going to be willing today? Instead, I'm going to be willing today. You know what I mean? So change their state. So that's a part of your job as a coach, is to change their state, change their mindset. I'll get into that with personal development, like how you do that. It's okay if you don't know all the answers, just start doing to figure out the answers. Create a desire to change versus a desire to stay the same, and create a movement about that. Create that hashtag in every single post and tell the story about that. You should be drinking your Shakeology, doing your workout, and doing personal development every single day. That's something that you can post about in your wellness group. And I say wellness studio, wellness group versus challenge group, because challenge group just wasn't sticking for me. So that's what I mean when I say wellness studio. When I first began coaching, I did a 365 Nicole, and it was a selfie challenge. And I deleted Facebook twice. I was not into taking pictures. I was so depressed. Like my hair was short. I was so I was not feeling myself at all. So I was like, screw it. I'm on this journey and I need to celebrate myself, and I need to learn how to love myself. And then that evolved into a Dear Brave Girl. I have albums on my social media for that. And I'm a storyteller, so there's stories in that. It's an opportunity for you to sneak in what you're doing to talk about coaching. ABC, always be closing. It's a hashtag that I got from Casey Neistat, if you guys follow Casey at all. Program master, I'll get into that in a little bit. Q&A, people know questions and answers. And I use that when I talk to people because like Bree said, you talk to so many people. And I'm like, if I send out an invite and then they don't respond, and I have my follow-up a month, 2 weeks, whatever that is, if I've forgotten next week, a couple days, I'm like, hey girl, let's catch up. Tell me all the things. Begin asking questions because everybody knows I'm a Q&A girl. And really, genuinely, like I love Q&A. Like I can sit here with all of you and answer questions and do all kinds of stuff all night long. I love learning about people. So that's kind of like just the power of movements and my mastery. Write down what you're good at. Don't write down what you're bad at. And I'm really big into whatever you put out into the universe is what you're going to get back. So I'm really big into this, fitness to business, business to fitness. The other day I was walking past a mirror and I was like, I don't know if swearing is allowed on this, so I'll let you guys read. Your fitness is your business is your fitness. So I have finished 11 rounds. I'm on my 12th round of a program. I'm literally from start to finish. I have a calendar up for however many days. I cross them off. I do the same things that I teach for myself. I never slack off. I mean, yes, I slack off. I have rounds where I'm like, whoa, this round is going to be 80-20, with foods, or this round is going to be on point. Like I just decide. To me, it's all just a decision. What are you doing in your fitness that's consistent? What are you doing in your business that's consistent? Are you inviting? Are you working out? Use that as your own accountability. Being a coach, an entrepreneur, a CEO, whatever you want to call yourself, a girl boss, a boss babe, you have to be consistent. And you have to do that yourself. If you depend on other people to do it for you, it's never going to feel good. You're never going to feel accomplished. So do it yourself. And fitness, our programs, is a perfect way to tie it in together. So when you do your workout, do your power hour, or vice versa, or have the set, set hours. What are you doing in your gratitude that's consistent? My coaching road has been, my coach taught me gratitude. That's her biggest thing that she taught me was gratitude. So gratitude is consistent for me every single week. Well, every single day, to be honest. But I teach gratitude. Every Friday in my wellness studio, every single Friday, I have a gratitude challenge. Go leave a $5 Starbucks card on a car. Go do something. It's really important to tie that in there because then who you don't sign up as a coach right away, you're going to find out who your coaches are in your wellness studio if they start doing these assignments, because that's part of coaching. It's personal development and gratitude. What are you doing with your invites that are consistent? What are you doing with your organized mess? If you have a mess, for coaching, if you see, I have 2 piles here, but it's organized mess. It's my organized mess. It's okay for you to be messy, but have some sort of thing that's consistent with your business and with your fitness, because those are the things that are going to make you grow the most. Personal development. I love this topic. People always ask, what do you do for personal development? How did you gain so much confidence? Why are you so good at self-love? Why are you so outspoken? Blah, 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 blah. I bought a $1.78 notebook from Target, and I asked myself 5 questions. I'll send them to Bree so she can post them in there. I forgot to, or no, they're right here. My bad. These 5 questions. I asked myself these for 2 years in a row, every single day. What did I do today? What did I feel today? What am I grateful for today? What challenged me today? How can I overcome that challenge? What did I savor today? I didn't want to reach for a book and have that book solve my problems and fix it. And I don't know, I hid for so long, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to buy another book, watch another YouTube thing, use another thing to get over something or bury it or hide it. I wanted to fix it within here. And I just began to ask myself questions. So what you're going to gain from those 5 questions that you ask yourself every day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have so many PD books and I have Audible. You need those. Yes, it's really important. But begin with you. Share what you're learning about yourself in your wellness groups. Share daily in your team page. Share in social media. Every single day you should have a post on your social media about personal development. Bree is so good about telling about storytelling and sharing. I mean, I watch her and I'm just like, that's so cool. So you do that. You guys should be doing personal development every single day. Share with yourself. Don't do personal development because you're told to. Do it because it changes your mother effing life. Do it because it makes you better. It makes your heart feel good. As a coach, we spend a lot of time on our phone. We spend a lot of time on social media. We spend a lot of time doing all of this pretty stuff, but you will never grow into the coach that you want to be until you get you right. I promise you that. How to talk to people. So I always say this. This is from one of my favorite movies, Hope Floats, when Birdie and Justin Matisse walk in to this dance hall, and she's super scared. She's scared of people judging her, what people are going to say, what people are going to think, how, she's afraid to talk to people. She has, she came from this like talk show where her husband says he's cheated on her. It's super weird, kind of like coaching, right? We're like, hey, I'm a coach. I'm my challenge group. I mean, it's super awkward when you first start to learn how to do it. But he says to her, he pulls her up and he says, dancing is just a conversation between two people. Talk to me. So just talk to people. That's all you have to do. You form with them. You ask them questions. 98% of the time, they're going to revert back to you and say, what are you doing? How is that fitness? You inspire me, da-da-da-da-da. Or you're going to be the people that are completely oblivious, like, you're a coach? What? I didn't know that, and that's okay too. It took 10 invites over a year for my coach, for me to finally get on the phone with her and for me to finally say yes. I mean, I wouldn't even open up messages from her because I want her to know that I saw it or that I was blowing her off, but I couldn't say no at the time, or I couldn't say yes at the time. I did it when it was right for me. And when it was right for me, it was like, bam. I was like coach's dream. I did every assignment. I showed up, and granted, not everyone's going to be like that. Don't get me wrong, but dancing is just a conversation between two people. Talk to me and ask them, how are you today? There's a national wake-up call. I don't remember who did it, but her big thing was, how are you today? Don't get trapped by the dogma of coaching and always trying to find something new to work on. Work on your story, work on your journey, and work on your life. It's a really big reason why my team is Inspire Your Life. It is not inspire your life to be Beachbody coaches and not inspire your coaching world or, all this kind of stuff. You're here to work on you, and you're here, I don't like to say here to help people, but you're here to help people. And the first person you're supposed to help is you. There's so much mumbo jumbo, bells and whistles of coaching. There really, really is. And I'm the queen of no bells and whistles. In my challenge groups, there's no bells and whistles. You get a pen and paper, you put a calendar up, you press play, you report in, you drink your Shakeology, off you go. And you don't weigh yourself, and you weigh yourself at the start and you weigh yourself at the end. And I create that movement. That's it. It's done. It's just like coaching. You show up, you do a power hour, you talk to your coach, you ask your coach all the questions, you talk on your team page. If you want to learn how to tell your story, you begin by telling your story in the team page. And the dogma of coaching, don't try to be like other coaches. I say in my Coach Basics, I say, go to the back office and look up the top 10 coaches, or go, YouTube top Beachbody coaches. I don't want to tell them who to follow because, my coaches are different. Say, follow these for 2 months, put an alarm on your phone, unfollow them. Then I want you to go to what serves you. I didn't know at the time, but Casey and Gary, and I love different things. Like, I'm an Iowa girl, so I follow all that kind of stuff, like softball and volleyball. I dig all that kind of stuff. So work on your story, work on your journey, and work on your life. Never forget that. Ever, 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 ever. Don't get caught up in scrolling in the newsfeed. Melanie Mitro is so great. She did a call, I don't remember for who, and she was like, how I did this business? She worked from a list. So literally just work from a list about your life, do these things, and it'll happen. I promise you. This is my dad. He would love it if you knew that I use this picture. Why I love storytelling is because I never want to hide ever, 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 ever again. And if you have a story that you're ashamed of, if you have a story that you don't want to share, or that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't tell this story, it's okay. It's okay to have that, because I had to tell mine in bits and pieces. And if you would have asked me, I would have told the world about domestic violence and like details about what happened. I would have said no. If you would have asked me if I would have forgiven those people and forgiven, I had a rocky relationship with my mom. If you would have asked me if I would have forgiven my mom a year ago, nope. That has never been anything that I've ever been like, I should do that, but working on myself and storytelling is what changed me. It's what helped me. I wrote down, never be ashamed of your story. And if you are, it's your job to fix that. You didn't, like I said, from the very beginning, you didn't sign up to be a coach to earn successful points or to rank advance. You signed up to help yourself, and never stop doing that. Ever, 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 ever. Let me take it off. Stop share for a second. Okay. A few little things I always like to say that my team totally knows me by is, you are not a tree, so move. If you don't like where you're at, if you don't like we are in coaching, if you don't like your success partner, if you don't like your wellness group, change it. You are not a tree. If you guys have led a team call, that's awesome. But I want you to get on your team page, sign up for a team call. Tell Bree, tell your upline sponsor, tell them you want to lead a team call, because the best way that you are, Bree's like, yes, the only way that you're going to get good at telling your story on social media is if you tell it to your family right here. And they're not going to judge you. They're going to be, how many people are going to be like, hey, me too? Hey, me too. You are a human being, not a coach. Please don't do all the bells and whistles of this coaching thing. If you're not good at something, move on. Do what you're good at. You become the coach that's inside of you when you become you. This hits me. As a coach, you're on your phone a lot, right? If you're feeling overwhelmed, sometimes it's not really harsh, but it's your fault. Put it down. We as coaches have a choice when we work, where we work. And I get, like, some of your mommies and you don't have a choice. You have other people. But really, make your time work, make your time effective, work from that list. Don't be afraid to ask on social media, hey, I just used this tonight. Like, I'm doing a really big team call. I'm stumped, which really wasn't. But, get interaction. What are 3 words that best describe me? I challenge you all to do that tonight, this weekend, whatever. Ask your people. Don't be afraid to ask your people questions. Post in your team page tonight takeaways from the call. Do that every Monday after the National Wake Up Call. If you're not listening to the National Wake Up Call, you are missing out. It's free training. Share your takeaways. Post in your team page every single day. There is no dumb question. You should ask all the questions. No, really, ask all the questions, because you're never going to learn if you don't ask. And if you're not willing to look at the FAQ, whatever, like, either learn it or ask all the questions so you can. You know what I mean? I think that's it. Oh, pillars. This is how you talk about yourself. One last thing. You should have at least 4 pillars that you are really good at talking about. I mean, I have more than 4, but if you go on my Facebook, there's a little, like, who you are, like, description. Mine is coffee, trucker hats. I'm an aunt, sister, coach, friend. On my Instagram, it's ponytail holders that don't match. That drives me crazy. I talk about Wranglers. I talk about peanut butter. I talk about country dancing. I don't watch TV. I just learned what GOT means. It's Game of Thrones. I had no clue what that was. I don't watch any of that stuff. But if you want to learn how to talk about your story or talk about things or talk about yourself, write down your pillars. You should know your pillars. Do that assignment for next week in your team page. There's so many assignments that I could give you guys for your team page. You should be blowing up the team page after tonight, because there's, like, so many things that you should talk about. But anyway, I'm done.
Add your team page to do, like, daily prompts for assignments. That's great. I love it. I like that with your call. It was just a huge call to action. Like you mentioned, you can learn all the stuff. And this is what I tell, new coaches. It's like, you could go watch hours of training videos and feel like coaching inside and out, but without taking action, you have to create some sort of movement in yourself, change in your own life. You have to start telling your story, no matter where you're at. I say it all the time. You don't need to have a rank or $1 million paycheck to share a story, because I was saying, join my team, join this amazing rock star awesomeness, when my boyfriend and my sister were the only coaches on my team. And neither one of them were reading personal development. Neither one of them knew they were coaches. Like, you have to create the movement for yourself. And that is like spot on with just moving, just going, just doing, instead of learning, because you can learn and learn and learn, but there's always something that you could learn or be better at. But there's no time like the present to just do. So I love that you just reiterated, we all come from backgrounds of, different, I can totally relate to the domestic violence, but you don't have to relate to Nicole, on that level, but you have a story, you have something, deep down that you struggle with, and you might seem silly, but yeah, share it in the team page, share it on a team call. Because I guarantee, like she said, we would probably be like, yep, I've been there. Like, there is somebody on our team. There's like what? Well, we have a downline of 1,500 now, guys. There's somebody on our team call, in our team page, that has been there, or that can say, oh my gosh, thank you for having the courage to say that, because you never know. It might not be Success Club points, but it might be somebody on our team that needs you to speak first and say, I've been there. I mean, Nicole is sharing about domestic violence. That's something I don't really talk about, because I'm not ready to share that story. It took me 1.5 years to share about my eating disorders, because I thought it would hurt me as a coach. I thought, oh, nobody wants the girl that was like struggling with gaining weight. Like, everybody wants the coach that has that 100-pound weight loss story. And the second I was vulnerable and said, no, you know what? I have a story. I'm going to share it. And the people that are going to be impacted are the ones, that are going to be affected. And there are people just like me that want to be fit and healthy. It wasn't just about a weight loss journey. And, for Nicole, it's not just about becoming rich or having, some elite title. It's about helping herself. And it's about me helping myself get to a place of feeling better, feeling good inside and out. We all have those struggles. We all have those insecurities. But without banding together, I mean, what Nicole and I are doing, sharing on each other's team pages or team calls, just being, I never would have taken a selfie. I never would have reached out to someone on social media, like, in 1,000,000 years. Like, I don't even know Nicole, like, we live in Iowa. That's, that's what we have in common. I have kids. I have a dog. I have the fenced in backyard and the, whatever. But, we have so much in common because of just working on ourselves. And we both have decided to just do, and that bonds us. Instantly, we could probably talk for hours. Like, I could just imagine if her and I got together at Starbucks. Like, after hearing her call, I'm like, okay, now we have to like meet up. So I hope you guys take away that it doesn't matter what your story is. It really, truly doesn't matter where you're at. You just have to start doing and speaking life into the changes that you want and putting out into the atmosphere, those things that you want. Don't read personal development because Beachbody says to, or because Brie or Nicole say to. Do it because you want to. Do it because you signed up as a coach because you were unhappy with certain points or certain aspects of your life, whether it's financial or just unhappy or just not confident, not motivated. And you saw, when you signed up with your coach, you saw something different and you wanted a piece of that. And so don't do the things because we tell you to. Do them because you want to. Do them because it's freaking awesome. So does anybody have any questions? I'm trying to read the chat. Mackenzie says, I'll share on the next team call. Sweet.
Mackenzie, you asked. Yay, that's awesome. Mackenzie, you said, what do you call your challenge groups? I call my Concrete One Life in the Fit Lane, and I call my brand new group that I do with my new customers, Earned It.
So she does a lot.
Earned It with Coach Nicole 1.0 to.
Yeah. So like a new group every 30 days and then a lifetime group and then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it works really slick because in my lifetime group, I always, every month, hey, who needs to start over? Hey, who needs a new day one? Who needs so then they go into the new room, the new one. And then when the new one comes out, the new people, they post their takeaways, transformations, their pictures, everything. So then everybody else in there sees all the results and they're like, hey, me too. Like Beachbody coaching is all about, hey, me too. You know what I mean? Because it's all about relating. It's all about telling your story.
Yes, I love that. Any other questions? Nicole, I have like so many notes. I wish I had grabbed a notebook. Usually I'm holding her, and so I like have my little keypad that I've been typing on. Like, I'm going to have to go watch it again and take more notes. But that was amazing. I'm like inspired all over again. And I know that you guys
thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Anybody else? Well, let's all thank Nicole. I know this one probably is not going to last much longer. Now that she's up, she's going to be like, hello. This is not like her up time. And we're rocking. So, well, thanks for having
that's awesome. I love it.
And talking to us and inspiring us and sharing your story. That was awesome.
You're the best. Thanks for having me. Have a good night.
You guys have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.